If you thought the dangers of Silent Hill were isolated to the American Northeast, think again. The newest entry in the iconic survival horror franchise, Silent Hill F, is a prequel that takes the story out of Maine and relocates us to 1960s Japan and the small rural town of Ebisugaoka, which roughly translates to Silent Hill. This village is a reflection of the American Silent Hill in more than just name. A sacred flower brought to these shores by a foreigner has taken root and been used in natural medicine for generations. The Hakakuso flower is another name for White Claudia, a plant that has a long-standing history in this franchise as a natural gateway to the spirit world. At the start of Silent Hill F, Hinako Shimizu has been taking Hakakuso pills for some time to assist with debilitating headaches, but also perhaps to deal with the stress of her abusive alcoholic father and her unhelpful, subservient mother. Her friends aren't much help either. Sakuko Igarashi is a sweet girl, but she's a bit clingy and possessive of Hinako. Shu Iwai is like a brother to Hinako, but he doesn't seem to have the same impression of their relationship. Rinko Nishida is also Hinako's friend, but her obsession with Shu makes this a love triangle that Hinako didn't ask to be involved with. None of them seem to have her best interest in mind, each focused on themselves or something they want from Hinako. Although, that could also be the Silent Hill phenomenon in action, bringing Hinako's emotions to the surface and even into a warped reality. Are these really her friends, or just what she thinks they think of her? In the fog? It's hard to tell. Of course, these four friends aren't alone in the foggy streets and mountain trails that form the ever-growing map of Ebisugaoka. All manner of horrors stalk these roads, but very interestingly, these creatures speak to Hinako's mental state and impressions of herself, other women, and where they all fit in the world around them. Mannequin enemies return, evoking a deadly sexuality as they lurch forward, pelvis first, knives in their backs. Also, some sort of birthing monster covered in wounds regularly releases additional foes. There are also other monsters that don't quite fit that same category. Hinako must fight them all with found objects, some more suited to battle than others. These weapons also break down quickly through repeated use, so players must repair their most valued weapons or lose them forever. Silent Hill F introduces a counter mechanic that allows players a brief window to strike an enemy on the attack. When this occurs, the outline of the creature glows a shade of red and time slows just a little bit. This window can be extended by using the left trigger to focus. The focus bar drains during use, but can be regained. Focusing can also empower Hinako's attacks, but if players are hit while using the ability, they lose a part of the focus bar. Once the story gets going, Hinako finds herself slipping out of consciousness to a realm called the Dark Shrine. In this spiritual place, she's stronger than she knows, gaining traditional steel weapons that never break, and eventually powers that I can't show because I don't want to spoil too much. I do want to note that the true ending of the game isn't accessible until the player has beat the game twice. It's found on the third playthrough with extra objectives and absolutely no Hakakuso pills. This sort of jumping through hoops is classic Silent Hill, but certainly leaves the first run through feeling a little anticlimactic. Anyone with limited time should just search for the different endings here on YouTube. It's worth spending a few more minutes just to see the big picture. Silent Hill F serves up bone-shattering combat and a provocative horror story that echoes socially focused classics like Carrie or The Stepford Wives. Women have long been protagonists in stories like these and horror in general, but this piece makes Hinako's womanhood the focal point, and doing so sets a new bar for storytelling in survival horror games going forward. Thanks for watching. A lot of people have been speculating what the F in this game's title represents. Anyone got any ideas? Let me know in the comments. Should you be interested, here's my review of Bloober Team's excellent remake of Silent Hill 2 from last year. They'll be handling the remake of Silent Hill 1 as well, so go ahead and check that out to get an idea what to expect. And consider subscribing to Hackathon today for more videos like this. Thanks again.